YouTube. Welcome to part 2, I guess, of the Chinoize Cup games that I played yesterday at this point. Here's the list again. We just hop right into it. Do have Red Green Luffy, and an L for today. All these games were actually casted by Chinoize and Skepis. This one has my POV. And then the next two games actually has my opponent's POV if you're curious about their hands at any point. Or what they have to say about certain plays and everything. But yeah. Here we have a Win Dice Roll have a really good hand. Kobe, just take the stage. We already have Mama, so really we just need to find Sokka. Which, you know, very likely when we have stage. Go 6. See, this is something that a lot of regular Luffy's do that when I was playing against Rick Master, he actually just didn't. Like, he would always float it on here so I don't get a free swing. Everyone else just uses all their searchers and lets me swing at them here. So I don't know exactly. I mean, I guess it's probably hand dependent, right? If they should be floating the Don or not. You could argue to take the stage just to guarantee a Sokka on 7. But I think we're probably more than likely to see one. We've already searched twice without seeing one, I'm pretty sure. You could take Borsa there for sure, but I'm not too worried about having them that early. I'd rather have a second Rosi Law, I think. We do find Sokka out of life. And we get the event, so that's really good. If he plays double wide next turn or anything, we would be ready for it to pop both. Start 7. See, he's already down to 2. Like, this deck doesn't want to take life this fast for sure. That's why you shouldn't, like, tap out turn 1. But again, if he didn't have the Usopp, then it makes sense, right? If he still needed to find the Usopp, then understandable. We do just go ahead and search with the Rosi Dawn, because it's not like our leader swing can do anything. So here, we definitely insta free block, because we never expect them to turn Usopp. And then, plan here, they have 9 Dons, so we're not actually going to get to swing, theoretically. So we would just, like, event pass here, and kill both of these. And save Sakamama for whatever he plays next. That would be, like, what would happen most of the time. But he actually turns the Usopp, which is definitely just not correct. I don't know. Even if, like, I don't know. It's just not correct. I just don't assume this guy was too familiar with this matchup. So, this is what it is. I do decide to counter. I don't know. I definitely shouldn't counter with Mama, but, like, theoretically, countering with Mama is, like, simulating how the game should have went in a way. Not really, but, like, kind of. So I get to keep the card that he's trying to force out of me. And then it's like I use the Mama on the Usopp without actually using it, obviously, because I don't go down on Don. But it's like, honestly, probably a little greedy to the counter with the Mama there. Like, you could definitely tell me to just 2k there, and I'd be like, okay. You could have, I should also just swing at this with leader, by the way. I should save the Kobe. But once he turns it, you definitely just sock it. You can just sit on the events, just start cycling them out next turn, if anything. So, definitely want to Sokka the sideways body if he's going to let us. He does play another searcher, so now I know that once again my event will be live next turn. Unless he plays like a 7 cost here. Like, if he plays a 7 cost, he's like, it has to be Zoro and he can't turn his board. Because he'd only have 1 Dawn, and even then, like, he's in a world of hurt. So, we know we have a pretty decent 6 cost turn coming up once again. Again, always going to free buck because I don't expect them to turn this Sanji. They're just like conceding to soccer if they do, but they turn it again. Um, I would say it doesn't matter that they turned it because I had the answers every time anyway. But they definitely just weren't respecting like anything, and they didn't swing at my Kobe, which is like my Kobe shouldn't have been sideways, so that's good for me. But now it gets to pressure them some more because now I actually get to swing at them this turn. Whereas if they swung my Kobe, like it's kind of a lot more awkward to get swings out. I still probably would have got swings out, to be fair. It would have been the same, I suppose. That's how it turns out, but yeah, now our event is basically dead unless we like chump block with our law, which we might do depending on what his play is. But we do have another Sakamama, so we're not even like that pressed. We can just cycle these out. Again, these events would have been really good if they played this game how they're supposed to. But they just played in the Saka and made the game very free. It didn't even make me have Sakamama or anything. They go Nami. And then they actually make another mistake. Like, they Luna, you just saw me pitch the event here, but you're turning my event back live. I do kind of expect an 8 after this, so I decided to counter the 7. I think is what. Does that even make sense? Oh yeah, no, I expect a 9 after this. That's why I countered the 7. Yeah. Because he can just restand all with Nami, and I don't really want to take the 0 like that, so I do just decide to counter the 7. Here he actually goes 5-6. I feel like just putting me to 1 is better, but maybe it's fine. I just decided to counter both at that point. It's not really a big deal. We have a pretty good turn after getting Luned with the Black Rope into Rosi Law. Again, our Black Rope shouldn't be live here, and our Sokka shouldn't really do anything when we have 1 swing and he has that, but I mean the whole game is just adjusting to what your opponent does. Here I'm just kind of skill checking him. He just always gives 2 Dawn here. Not that it matters either way. I think I do decide I don't really need another Rosi Law here. But yeah, I mean at this point you just gotta adapt to how your opponent's playing it and punish their misplays, right? So it is what it is. He does go Luffy on our Rosi Law. Just gonna let it die. Obviously, he has so many weenies to hit it. No, never saving it. And here, like, he's only 1 down away from rushing with the Luffy. But like, if he does, it just dies to Sokka again. But even if he doesn't, it dies because we have Sakamama. Also, he only gets 1 active Dawn if he decides to attack with the Luffy. So like, real world where he dies. Like, you kind of need to float 2 Dawn here. I decide, like... He decides he doesn't need to float 2 Dawn here. I'm pretty sure I could just kill him here, like, every time. But also, like, why would I ever chance it? I don't know what crazy amount of counter he could have somehow. Or, honestly, I just didn't even do... I didn't do the math. It might have been just straight math lethal. But, like... you could Mama here for an extra Dawn, but just don't need the extra Dawn. So I'd rather save it for lethal turn. And then just, like, punch 9s. And save it for, like a Nami blocker if one comes out. But yeah, I'm just like, if I kill this Luffy, I'm never dead here. Let's go 9, 9. So just play it controlled. I mean, this guy was 3-0 at this point, so I assume he's decent. He just really didn't understand this matchup. But that's fine. He'll know for next time, surely. Nine, we're gonna force at least 2 cards here. Then we go 9 again, force 3 more cards. Then we could go 7. It basically was like math lethal if I just start 9 at life. um, but again, just why? I don't know. I know he's dead next turn. So why go for it? I've never did the DMG here either. DMG here, his best math is like 7-7 or 6-8 or something like that. I think. I don't know. I'm not. This game was kind of a wash. The next two games definitely showcase it a bit more standard. Actually, I'll tell you the next game definitely does. The next two RG games. The NL game. Take opponent, especially when I watched it back on the cast and saw what his hand was when he was making his plays. I think he definitely did not play optimally, but it's fine. No one plays perfect. Punish the misplays. You go 7. Pretty sure I decided to just stay at 1 because why not? If he does Luna here, like, we're probably not killing, unfortunately. Like, even if he Mama this, right, it's just like a 14, which he actually just gets out of for all his Dawn. So if he has Luna, we're not killing. Part of me wants to keep the Kobe to try and just find a Borsalino, but I feel like if I just keep as much counter in hand as possible, could also just give Mama at that point too, to be fair. Because if he has Luna, we're not killing. If he doesn't, we're killing through the Nami probably. We would have top decked Borsa anyway, apparently. And he also just didn't have it. I think if he did go 9, I probably would have just took. Could have went 9 and then Luna theoretically, if he had the card. And at that point, I probably would have just taken and tried to find a Borsa or something. And if not, awkward. So, but I don't think we had really seen. I think we maybe bottom decked 1 and hadn't really seen any. Hence why we had 1 in life and we're top decking 1. Next game we have another RG Luffy. We lose Dice Roll this time. So this game will actually be a really good one to show. We lose Dice Roll. That hand is like interesting, but I don't think it's necessarily what I want to keep. Just too many searches. Turns off our event in hopes that we find the right cards with the searches. I'd rather just hard mulligan for a 4 cost. We don't find one. Obviously, we're never playing this law for 4 here. The only matchup where you really play this law out is Blackbeard, to be honest. Other than that, it's just like if you're desperate. But Nami had Usopp. I don't know. Didn't quite catch what the stage added. Then goes Bonnie. There's only floating 1 here. I think like once again, like I don't know what his hand is, but like once again here, you're like if I have promo law, I get to Swain. I get to Swain 7 and still play it. I don't, so it wouldn't matter. But like also, even if he floats 2, I'll probably still play the stage here and just forfeit my Swain. But because he floats 1, I still get to Swain. We do bottom 2 Boyces here, but we also see 2 Sokkas in the search, and we definitely need like a lot of Sokkas in this matchup. So I don't want to play with 1 Sokka, 2 at most. So I just take the second Sokka. Let's go 8. Force a 2k with a life. You're definitely happy to force the life if you can make Whiplaw live later. This matchup isn't like Whiplaw central or anything, but it definitely can be live and can hurt them. Let's play Sanji, leader effects. If he goes 6 here, I'm probably going to counter it. If he goes 7, we'll take. It's kind of just up to him how much down he wants to leave behind. I think he should always go 7 though, to be honest. Like, you never need to float more than 2 Dawn here. When it's my Rosi Law turn, right? Yeah, he should just always go 7, actually. Well, he wants to search, okay. I mean, I guess he just still needs to find cards. Understandable. Here we don't really have any swings. I do decide to take the Riplaw over the 2K. Then just pass. Yeah, take Riplaw over 2K. Just because it's live right now, right? Like, there's a world where we go Sokka Riplaw next turn for sure, depending on what he does. We're all gonna insta block. They shouldn't ever swing the Sanji here because they're just like not even gonna make me have the Mama if they do. He does double develop, which plays around the Riplaw we just searched. Definitely unfortunate. But honestly, I'm still gonna play this Riplaw next turn just as like a chump blocker. And then he does do what like they're supposed to do and just pass. Part of me wanted to get rid of the Usopp here, but I think I decided to get rid of the 7K just so they can't really pressure me next turn with a ton. And still get rid of a Donry Stander. And also we have another Mama for the Usopp once our board is big enough to hit it without Sokka. We also see this event, which is really good for us, right? I mean, if he saves this, he's basically just telling me he really wants my Rosi Law sideways. Which, to be fair, like he could do. I think at that point I probably would just. Actually, I think I would still do the same play. So like he could have forced my Rosi Law sideways there. But there are definitely worlds where if he does that, I'll go like 3 at it with Rosi, and then like hit his life. So it's definitely greedy for him to do it. I think in this specific situation, I want to play the chump blocker. So I was just debating if I really wanted to play it here, but I think I do decide to. So he gets 3 free Dawn at the end of his turn, which means he gets 7 Dawn to work with? Question mark? I guess it's more than that. He's just not going to prioritize. I did decide to just snap block that 8. Like I said, he's here to chump block. That's why I played him, right? So he did his job. Saved me I basically block one of those swings. I guess it's really the same. As taking and then just block. Well, no, because then he could have rushed with Zoro. But I don't know if he would want to when we have Sokka threats. But either way, here you definitely could just event the 2 bodies, and it was not that bad. You could also go like Sokka the Sanji, Mama the Usopp. But I actually decided I'd rather get a second Sokka out. Just to have like more Dawn possibilities on the future turns. And I can still just like 6 cost these next turn. So I get rid of the 9K swing. I don't expect the Usopp to ever hit me. The Sanji might turn. It's not that big of a deal if it does. So I decided to just get rid of the 9K swing and save this event for next turn when I can play another body with the event. Whereas this turn, if I played the event, I wouldn't really be playing a body with it unless we cycled into like a promo law or something off of stage. Sokka in the stage is probably always the correct start here. I have a second departure, so I decided to get rid of that one. But yeah, I decided to just do this, and the next turn I can plan to like event Borsalino here. Draw another Mama. So if we have to, we could always departure. Now that we have double Sokka, we can actually go departure Mama +6 cost event next turn, potentially. Which is really good, obviously. So Just having two Sakas on the board definitely really strong. I don't want to play. I would like to play Kobe here to find an I love you. But I also don't want to flood my board when I'm gonna probably try to play the event next turn. So like, it is the awkward part of the event. You have to be cognizant, make some suboptimal plays. But I think the payoff is definitely worth it a lot of the time. It's not like we're in a hurry to desperately find the I love yous. We can play. We can try to find them later. Just pass once it dies. Once he plays Shanks, that's like, honestly, I never expected this card to come down, but obviously we just have like the God Hand to answer this. We just get to go Departure Mama and then 6 cost the 2. The ordering does matter. You do have to Departure Mama first, because otherwise, in order to get, if you go 6 cost event first, in order to make Departure live, you'll have to waste Mama before you can Departure. I do decide to just block 2. Again, they're just never turning Usopp here. If they do, it's generally good for you. Obviously, in this spot, I would be annoyed if they did. And force an extra card, or maybe more if they decide not to float as much Dawn. But yeah, so we just have like the God turn. We're just gonna clear this whole board here. I'm just like doing the math in my head, making sure it works before I throw. But it definitely works when we have double Sokka. And then we do, so not only do you have to Departure Mama first, but you have to then 6 cost event before you kill it, right? So we go stage. I do trash Sokka here. I think I should just trash Rosi Law, to be honest. I think you should always just keep the extra Sokka against this deck. But then we event. Obviously, if he swung Usopp, no matter how big it is, we always have to defend it in that spot, just to make sure we have a life for the event. And then here, he has no board, so I just swing out. Decide I can pressure a life or a 2k out of his hand. But yeah, I think definitely get rid of the Rosi Law over the last Sokka, right? Because we bottom decked another one earlier, I'm pretty sure. So we're just out of Sokkas now, and we're out of Departure, so we have no more power minus, basically. Unless we get back to the Sokka. You get a 2k. You have to pressure this deck whenever you can. Like, it's like kind of results bias to say I should have kept Sokka, but I think it's just correct. But like, if they went double develop with double restanders again this turn, maybe I'm fine with not keeping the Sokka. But and then here we're just taking. Even if we did keep Sokka, like, we have to decide if we were safe to play it. I think we would be. I think we would just Sokka play Rosi Law, float both blockers plus the Dawn, and we're never dead. We would just Sokka the... Oh, in that case, we should just keep both then, huh? Which is fine, honestly. Probably could just get rid of, like, the Law. The Whip Law. Even though, like, you could come up and chunk block with it. Here... I actually decided to do some weird shit. Just go 8 at life and see what he wants to do. If he ever gives me Dawn, I'm, like, pressuring the fuck out of Zoro. But he gives me a 2k. I think I decided to go 8 again. Just seeing if he wants to give me another Dawn, because I'll still pressure the fuck out of Zoro if he does. He does end up giving me another 2k. And at that point, I just decided to go like 13 at the Zoro. With Rosi Law. Just to get one more card out of hand. I mean, getting 3 cards out of RG's hand, it's seems like a really good turn, to be honest. Um, but in hindsight, I feel like it's a bit too slow, a bit too controlled. I think, and also like it leaves us open to die to DMG this turn. Because I'm gonna go 13, and then I'm gonna go Borsalino float 1 with 1 blocker, 1 Don. And I think we do just die to DMG. Because he can split under the Bonnies. Um, so I think better play here is just send like 3 9s at life. Borsalino. We then have 3 Don up. Um, yeah, just you can start Kobe if anything too. Try to find like another I love you. But yeah, just send like 3 9s at life. Really pressure him. I expect to get 2 life if I send 3 9s at life. Maybe just 1. But either way, we still get 2 cards and a life then. Or like just 2 life. Which is probably better in this situation, I think. But yeah, I think honestly, I think it's 999 to play Borsalino Riplaw with the hand that we currently have. I think those are probably the ideal plays. Then we can go 2 blockers, float 1 Don. So even if he Namis, we still have the Don so we don't die. And then same thing with DMG, we still have a blocker. No stays, just get rid of that promo law. But yeah, I think 999 Borsalino, it would have been promo law over Riplaw, which is fine too. I think that would have been a much better turn. We got 3 cards out of his hand. Very, very decent in that respect. But I think it's just a little bit too slow. Again, if I just kept the Sokka, we definitely just Sokka there. And sit behind like 2 blockers and a Don. And we're not really scared to die into like a GM12 with a Nami or anything. So, just like, you know, be smart about it. If you need to trash a Sokka, trash a Sokka. But like, honestly, most of the time you probably don't need to trash a Sokka. In my mind, we controlled his board enough, and I could probably just, in my mind, when I trash that Sokka, I could just like, he has no board, right? So for the rest of the game, it doesn't matter if he starts developing board. We're already ahead, so we could just swing out and play blockers, which is probably true. But I think the proper way to do that would have been to go the 999 route here instead of 8813 and some weird shit. I do decide to snap block. If he lunas me or something, it's not the end of the world. Even if we go to 0, we just find a Borsa with Kobe. If we have to, it's probably worth fighting a Borsa with Suru too. Just like find a Borsa and play a second blocker. It's very fine. Let's go Usopp swing 9 here. Float 5 Don. I do think his hand at this point was 4-cost Nami and Charleston. If I remember right from watching the playback on the stream. I think a better turn for him would have just been use the Nami. I think he should have just used the Nami and pressured my life. Got a bunch of cards out of hand, put me on half heal. I'm never really killing him through 3 life, 5 Dawn, and a Charleston. So I think he should have just pressured the fuck out of my life this turn and made me half heal. Even though he didn't have Luna. You just go stage, I think. Cycle stage. Cycle the Rosi Law. I'm just trying to find a Sokka or a Borsalino at this point. I do decide to take the what's it called? I decide to take the I love you over trying to keep searching for Borsa with Rosi with Kobe. Because we don't necessarily like have to have Borsa here. We're still at 1 life. So I take the I love you, cycle again, find a Mama. Now it's just Sokka effect. We don't need both those laws. You could, I think you could play both those laws here if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you could. Maybe I'm supposed to just play second Rosi Law there. But I decided to just swing out, which I think is also fine. I'll start 5 at it, see what he wants to do. At this point, we did like start doing the weird I'm gonna pressure your hand thing, so we kind of commit to it. Go 5 at it, just to see if he wants to defend it at all. He does. It makes sense to defend the 5, I think. But once I go 8, he does end up just letting it die. If he ever gives me 2 Dawn for this, I'm definitely gonna like punch the fuck out of this Zoro for like 13. And say once again you're giving me a card, and even then I can still like swing at it again. So here I'm down to just like go 8 again, see if he wants to give me the 2 Dawn. If he does, I am once again just gonna punch the fuck out of the Zoro. Because if he gives me 2 Dawn here, I can go. I don't think I can ever commit all my Dawn, but I think I can go 13 at it and get one more card out of hand again. Put him down to 1 in hand again. Go 2 Dawn, 13. So he can get 2 17. So I can only get to 15 with Rosi Law, so I would never send it, I don't think. He'd have to give me his entire hand to defend it, which means I'm probably safe. Actually, am I safe with the splits on the Bonnie? I'm not sure. Basically, I would have just gone 13 float 2, just to be safe around DMG. We do live the DMG now, as long as you float 2 Dawn. We only need 1 Dawn active to counter his leader plus Zoro. But once he takes that, I think I'll just go 13 life, pressure 1 more card out of hand. Do need to just, again, be as aggressive as possible. You can't really afford to respect Luna, and honestly, if they Luna when they have no board, it's not that bad. As long as they can't chain them like multiple turns. So yeah, just go 13 once he decides to take the 8. He's just debating if he wants to take life or not. He does end up, I guess I can fast forward, he does end up deciding to counter it with a 1k. Just gives the Nami in his hand. He goes Zoro. Swing 9 at Sokka. I am going to defend it. I think I decided to stay at 1 here, with hopes of healing to 2. That way I can just be uber safe. And even if I can't heal to 2. Wait, also I'm pretty sure I knew I'm drawing Borsa actually. Yeah, because we have 16 in deck. We've searched 4 times. So I know I'm drawing Borsa off of stage here. If I didn't know I was drawing Borsa off of stage here, then we probably just have to like commit a bunch of Dawn on the Sokkas to punch the Zoro. But because I know I'm drawing Borsa, we can play to just pressure his life some more this turn. And play the Borsa. I think I do end up going 11. If he wants to counter 11, he has to give me all of his Dawn, and at that point, if he gives me all his Dawn, I have to go 15 just to guarantee a kill on a Zoro, which you could do here. You could put him on top deck Arrestor, but I think healing is just always safer. Honestly, I think I should go 9 at life. I go 11 with the thoughts that he's always gonna take, because if he ever gives me the Dawn, in my head he's always gonna take 11, and then I go Borsa, um, pass with 3 blockers, put him to 1. He has 2 in hand, has to find some kind of miracle play to live. But if I go 11 and he gives me the Dawn, I can go 9-9, float 3. The 3 doesn't do anything, obviously. I might have a dead to a split. If he goes 7, 8 after, because I'd have no blockers. So I'm just like curious myself if this 11 was good or not. Again, that's why I like doing these. Someone asked me to do like live commentary while I'm playing, but I was just jamming out the music while I was playing these games, man. I'm not ever too focused, but like I'm still generally trying to notice misplays and make correct plays. But I think watching it back just helps. Watching it back and doing the commentary this way helps me learn from my mistakes as well, which is a big reason why I do it. But if I go 11, gives 2 Dawn, I go 9-9. Brain is struggling to process. Just a 2-way split would be 17, be 8-9. So we're never dead to that. If he goes 7, okay, so we're never dead if we do that. So the 11's probably fine then. I'm worrying about nothing. 11's probably fine. I think you could also just go 9, and then like you could go 9, and if he counters that, then you could go 9-9 at 0. One of them dies and play Borsa. It's probably just not as good though. Probably just go 11. Yeah, okay. Here we're in a pretty good spot. We just have to watch out for our board getting Luna'd, because this is a turn where it actually would be pretty bad for us to get Luna'd. That being said, I am pretty sure I'm drawing Borsa for turn if I remember correctly. So it's not like the end of the world, I guess. Like we could maybe still play another turn depending on how it plays out. Trying to remember. I know he actually does have the Luna out of those 2 cards he got. She has Luna, and I don't remember if the other card was relevant in the slightest. I have a stream saying he like threw this turn, which like I agree he did, but I also don't see what they wanted him to do to try and win this game at this point. As long as I never play into Luna, I'm never losing. I have enough counter. He goes 5. Generally, I'm a big fan of free blocking, but I don't want to free block when I'm just trying to end the game next turn and play around Luna. And if I free block, he could still go like Nami Luna, right? And then I just lose. And if he goes Nami Luna, he has 2 in hand, right? It's possible. So no reason to not respect it. So I do just give a 1k here. At this point, he goes another 5. I feel like it's pretty obvious he's trying to bait my board sideways at this point, but I can still like, I can just free block that one, and even if he Lunas this, these Rosies should be more than enough to go for game. But you could make an argument that I should just counter the 5 as well and just keep my Borsalino active too. It's probably fair. If it goes 9, we always just take. There's not too much else to say about this game. He goes 6 at 2k, he goes 9, I take. He does Luna. We draw the Borsa that we knew was on top. So like if anything, we could heal back to 2 here, but obviously it's just math. We swing 8, he has 1 in hand. He gets a Luna trigger, but that's why we swing characters first, you know? Yeah, so we get there. Honestly, I don't think he like. I agree these fives were troll, but I also don't know what he could have done this turn to not just lose next turn. What was his hand? It was Sanji 2K, so he had an unblockable, and then Luna in life. I don't think the unblockable ever is relevant. I mean, you could say he should just be like attaching Dawn to his leader, but I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter what he does here. He is dead. He can float 5 Dawn. He is still dead here. Unless you want to, like, you want him to play for a Luna or Charleston out of life and then swing big enough to where I have to take, block, and have 2 swings. I guess, like, you could swing 9, 9, 10. But if I just don't have to block with Borsa, like, if I just... If he goes 9, 9, 10... I take... I can't ever counter the 9s because... You also can't go 10. Yeah, I just don't know what people were expecting him to do. He's always dead here. It just doesn't matter. But yeah, so really good game there. And then lastly, we have an Enel finals. Win dice roll, luckily. I think we do keep this hand. We have I Love You 2K Law, Borsellino, Double Searcher. Really good. I think I start Rosi because, like, if there's ever a world they don't see minus on 2 somehow, which is like impossible. But I've actually had laws NLs not minus on 2 against me, and somehow I never have the punish. I never have the. Luckily we didn't whiff. Anytime an NL doesn't minus on 2, I never actually have the promo law. Unfortunately, I'm just not good enough. But he does have it, so it's fine. We're just gonna try and. Well, I actually would have found it this time, but we're not gonna play for it here. Here's actually a weird decision. So, people would probably just snap take the Rosie Law here. I do end up thinking about it, but I decided, like, there's so many. I don't want to bottom 2 stages and play the rest of the game without stage. I just don't. Playing the game without stage feels so bad. So I just gamble that I'll find another Rosie Law by next turn because I have this search, plus like this stage can find other searches. So I just take stage. I say fuck it, I'll find another one. If I don't find another one, I'll find a searcher that finds another one, like something, right? Like, this is definitely a gamble. I feel this is a play that I don't think most people would do, but I think it's worth the payoff. Because, like, playing the game without stage just feels so fucking bad. Yeah, so I take stage. We see what we would have eventually drawn the stage without, like, a couple turns later, so it really wouldn't have been that big of a difference. But we just get stage a turn earlier, which is fine. Put the Borsa to the top. So in my head here, I'm down to take 1 swing, but I don't really want to take 2. This pudding does whiff, lucky me. So in case this is a 7, I do decide to 2K this. He does waste a dragon, that's obviously good for me. That card's annoying for me later. Goes 7. This card is dead, so I'm just gonna trigger it. Trying to find Sokkas and Mamas. Trash the Heal Law. He does just let me draw with Rosie Law. Could take the Sokka here. Now we just need to find a Mama. Don't have it. So once we don't find Mama, if he plays the Nell here, my plan is to take the 2, like free block 1, take 1, and then just go Borsellino promo. He does trash an L, so that's why I don't think he played it too optimally. You just want all your Nls. I don't know why he's trashing an L here. Like looking back, watched the replay of this again to see his cards and his perspective, the streamer's thoughts on stuff. And he had like triple NL here. He had the one on board and then two more in hand. So he trashes this one. His hand was really good, to be fair. It was like definitely a hard decision on what to trash. But no matter how hard of a decision it is, you never get rid of your NL. Like, it's just not correct. But he does, so he goes 6, I free block. He goes 6. Again, I take because I'm planning to just Borsa promo law anyway. But we find the Mama. So once we have Mama, normally I don't like the Mama on this turn. Because once they clear your Sokka, you're just hurting for Dawn. And you're not guaranteed to kill a Nell. But I think in this spot, we're pretty guaranteed to kill a Nell once our Rosi Law isn't frozen or anything, right? So I'm definitely just gonna Sokka Mama since we have the Rosi Law. Start 5 at it though. If he wants to give me a 2k, we're fine with it. If he doesn't, then we get to free block with Rosi Law again. We do have all these winnies to contest the pudding, so we're not too worried about that. I think he does just decide to let it go. I think it's probably the correct play, unless you really want me to turn my Rosi. And then he does have another Enel here. Like I said, he had 3, so he could have just went like Enel, even though I cleared that one. But that's also another reason why they should end on 3. Like, then I don't get the Dawn, then I can't Sokka, then I just play like another Rosi Law next turn. And then from there I would start Sokking, but you'd already have 2 Enels on board. But no one plays perfect. A lot of people still aren't too familiar with all the matchups. He does Lightning Dragon and stun nothing. Like, I guess it's fine. Here's the big thing. He decides to get rid of the Rosi Law over Sokka. Which I get not wanting to give me free blocks. But you definitely are supposed to kill Sokka here. Giving me the free Dawn every turn and the free ability to just swing with my Sokka without really carrying, whereas like with Rosi Law, you have to consider whether or not you should swing with it. It's definitely ideal to me. Mainly the free Dawn every turn though. Like I just went back to 6, right? Now I'm gonna go back to 7 instead of 6. I'm gonna 2k this. I don't want to take a 7 down to 0. Find another Mama. He is at 6 Dawn. So like theoretically, if my Rosi Law doesn't draw here, I probably just go like Borsa promo, to be honest. But because he is just not respecting my Rosi Law draws, it makes this game much easier. I actually just decided to play. Actually, there's just a better way to do this, no? He's at 6 Dawn. Yeah, there was a much better way to do this. So I should just go like Sokka stage. So I go Sokka as 7 active Dawn. I need 4 for Rosi Law. Because actually, the turn is a little awkward as far as what my plays are. Because I go to 7, I can't just immediately play Rosi Law. I need to go to 6 before I can. I go to 8, but even if I need effect go to 7, I can't play Rosi Law because I want the draw. And I'm definitely playing Rosi Law here since he's giving me the draw. But I should go Sokka stage effect, and then I should go like 3 with Kobe, 5 with leader. If I'm swinging this turn, you don't have to swing this turn. In which case, it's kind of no diff. But I do decide I want to swing this turn. So I decided to go 5-5. If he takes both, I'll swing 8. But the way I look at it, I'm just getting 5. I'm just lowering his life while keeping his cards the same. Technically, he does Mama this, so he still like gained a card. But I'm also very happy to see Mamas go. So in my mind, swinging 5-5 here is fine because I'm happy to put him to 2, and I don't expect him to ever take the second. But I should have been able to have a Dawn open here, basically. It's the thing. So the sequencing was a bit off. I should have went Sokka 5-5. Then leader effect play Rosi. Then I get to float a Dawn after stage and leader effect. I think my end Dawn stays the same. Just would have an active. Now, I don't think that active Dawn would necessarily matter here, to be fair, because I'm pretty sure I'm just going to free block leader, and if he swings pink, I'm just going to always take it. I'm just taking it. I don't care. That's too big of a swing to try and counter out of. It's not worth the card advantage. You could definitely just double Boise here. But I do have Sakamama, so I decided just Sakamama. Because I can Sakamama Boise here too. Awkward part is we'd have no Dawn open with a bunch of bricks. This 5 is fine. Next action should definitely be staged though, to see if we can convert one of these bricks into a not brick. He does do that. Then I go 8 at it. Definitely expect it to die here. And then here, I actually just throw. Swinging my Rosie Law here is like, it's unnecessary, right? Like, I've already got board control. I can just kill this next turn if he swings it. I should just float an extra blocker to be safe. Because if he ever saves this, which, like, theoretically it's just hard for him to save, but he does have Departure, which is the punish. And it's definitely possible for him to have it. So I should just expect that and float 2 blockers here. So, like, there's just no world where I ever die. But instead I swing 8 at it. I draw another brick. So now we go Borsa. 1 life, 1 blocker, no Dawn. So if he just answers my Borsa, like, it's actually expensive, right? Like, we have a good amount of counter, but we don't have infinite. We actually have 4 bricks in hand, since we don't have any Dawn open. So I should just not swing the Rosie Law there. He can keep those 2 cards. I still don't even think it makes that big of a difference. Like, he had Lightning. He probably would have went, like, Lightning, Borsa. I think he also had Gamma Mama and Gamma Thor. So he would have done, like, Lightning plus Gamma Thor or some shit. But even then, the swings would just be smaller if they do all that, right? So I'm still safe. He does instead go Gamma Thor. And, like, if you watch the replay, Skepis just thinks he makes a huge misplay by swinging 7 with pink first here, and that's definitely correct. Like, you should just, like, if you play it now, you should know you always just load up on your leader first here. Go 8, go 9. Yeah, I think just go 9 with leader. Because now he goes 7. I'm definitely countering the 7. So I go 2-1. But if he goes 9 with leader, and I take, assuming he can get all the Dawn off and doesn't have another Thor. Am I checking for Thors right now? I am, right? He has 2 Thors in trash. Unlikely that 2 Thors are in hand, but, like, theoretically, if they are, I'm probably dead. Again, that's just why I shouldn't be swinging the Rosie Law here. But if it's 9 and I take, assuming he can get the Dawn off, which he could, I think his hand was like Mama Lightning or something left. So he can get 3 Dawn off, which is all he needs to. Then he goes 5, so it's 12. I need a 1k out of life to live 12. If I counter the 9, he goes like, and if I counter the 9, it's 7-7. Which I still need a 1k out of life for. So it's just better. But here he goes 7, and I give 2-1. And I think from here he actually goes 8. Yeah, he goes 8. So like if he has no Thors, it's just another 8. So I would be fine to take first life, but in case of any Thors, like 2 Thors and it's a 10, right? 1 Thor and it's a 9. So I don't want to risk losing to that when I'm in a very winning position. So I decided to just count as 8. Even though we have to give 2 Borsas, that really sucks. That's on me for winning my Rosi Law. But we're still in a winning position. Even though we have to give 2 Borsas, even if we just clear his board and float 3 blockers next turn, we're in we're still fine. So at least we didn't die. But we definitely cost ourselves a lot of resources there. I guess it was Lightning Dragon Kitten. And the Satori, sure. Now it's just 7. We're gonna take. We wouldn't have died either way because we do get the Kobe from life. So even if he did proper swings there, we actually don't die, but he does get 1k more counter out of our hand, which is huge, right? Because then I just don't ever get back to this Borsa, basically. Like if I have to get this Kobe, I have one Borsa left in deck that I bottom decked earlier, and I just never get back to it. I do decide to Mama, trying to cycle back to the 1 Borsa that I know I have, and clear his board. Swing the Sokka, definitely not swinging other cards. Kobe, again, I could have honestly trashed, I guess I wasn't too worried about the Rosi Law draw. I was more so, like, trying to make sure I could, get back to Borsa without having to play over any of my actual bodies. I'm actually just curious, could I have Rosi Law'd after? I go Kobe. So I have Rosi Law in hand. I go Kobe. No, because I go to 8 Dawn, so after a leader effect to make I'd have to play Rosi Law before the Kobe, which means I'm playing over something. So I guess it's fine to just trash the Rosi Law, play to keep finding Borsa. We do find it. I think theoretically we should have known that we were going to find it anyway, though, if I kept better track of the bottom of my deck. Yeah, let me just get the active done, play a promo law. But yeah, theoretically we should have been able to play the Rosi Law over promo here, get a draw, and known that we draw Borsa for off stage next turn. But I didn't quite track it well enough this game to realize that. But here, even though we made that huge blunder by swinging our Rosi Law last turn, cost us a bunch of cards, barely lived. And again, if he did proper swings, who knows how this game goes after that, because I have to give the Kobe as well instead of getting to keep the Kobe. And then we have a bunch of blockers, so we're probably never like dying for sure, but never dying anytime soon. But we don't get back to our Borsellino anytime soon either, which is just the card that's gonna close the game out, right? It's been a long episode though, so I'm definitely down to speed this up. The game's basically over at this point, right? There's some swings. I do decide to free block this 6 instead of countering just to free up board space and save resources. It's gonna swing like 7 cycle. I draw on a 4th I love you, so I said I was gonna go 7-7 float 3. Now I decided to go 7-6 8-8-8 float 4. Doesn't really matter either way. We're never dying. We could probably just float 2 I love you and always be fine. But why not float 4? Goes like 7. I decided to just take. Who cares? He's dead, and therefore I love you. He goes 11. We counter. And yeah, so I think he definitely made some misplays. He should be looking to play more Nels than he was trying to. The sizing, he should have killed Sokka over Rosi Law for sure. Again, not going to 3 on this turn means that I get to play Rosi and go to 7, so I can Saka Mama his first to know. Like, all those small mistakes add up. And then we make a mistake by swinging the Rosi here. And like, he does punish it, just not optimally, right? Like, as we said, I wouldn't die here, but he should get 1k more counter out of my hand. Like, this Kobe I shouldn't have, and then the whole game goes different. Whether we win or not, I feel like we're still probably in a good spot to win, even if he does the optimal swings there, but we just don't swing Rosi and we're fine, I think. But yeah, that was the finals. Did end up winning after that, obviously 6-0. If you have any questions, feel free to leave in the comments as always, and thanks for watching. Peace.